Welcome to Contractor Fight, relationship podcast.
Relationships. Yes. Let's talk about how the relationships compared to business transactions. Oh my God, dude. I don't see there's a line. I think they're the same thing. What do you think?
A relationship is a relationship. Doesn't matter if it's dating. It doesn't matter if it's a customer. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just, and so disclaimer here, Tim and I were talking as we wrapped up our podcast, and we always like to catch up and just talk shop and just catch up in life and talking about dating and girlfriends and like what it looks like when you get into the beginning of a relationship and you're dating that person. And as soon as you shift, whatever you're doing in the early parts of that relationship, all of a sudden, one, yourself or the other person starts to go, well, that's different. What changed there? Why is it not the same? So if that's the same way with a customer, and Tim, you said, what did you say? It's as I was going through this.
Oh, the coasting?
The coasting.
Yeah. So it's like this. And it's like we don't get to coast to our service visits. Each visit is an audition for the next opportunity.
Yes. So perfect.
And then you and I had an epiphany. It's like, isn't that a lot like...
We're all adults here. It's when you're in the early parts of a relationship or even your extended relationship or a long-term relationship, when you have your fun, if you will, and when you're done with your fun, I'm being PG here, the foreplay has to start over. You're auditioning for the next date, the next time. And that's what makes a beautiful relationship rich, is because you show up for that person in a way that they enjoyed in the beginning. And then they have to show up for you in a way that you enjoyed in the beginning. And then you find you have to tweak things because life happens. But if you're not dating your significant other constantly, and the foreplay doesn't start over after the last time and audition to the next time, it's going to be strained. So that's the same way with the customer. When you're in their space and you finish a clean out, you finish any sort of service. That just sounds so weird. Any sort of service, but it's relative, right? Like it's relative. And now you're auditioning again. And what a great way to look at it. Every single time we do this, we are auditioning again. So what does that audition look like? That audition is and I'm just riffing now, Tim, that audition is a standard operating procedure that you put into place. That's the same way as dating. You have a standard operating procedure on how that person is attracted to you. Same way with the customer. You have to replicate that over and over and over every single time because that's what they're familiar with and that's what they know. Now, that doesn't mean that every now and then you can't enhance that SOP.
I agree, but here's like you said, there's mannerisms, there's things you say, there's a look, there's a glance, there's a picture being sent daily, or for us, it would be like, hey, we send a video after a service or we send a job form, or the technician will show up and ask, hey, how's your dog doing? I remember he was sick. It's like, this is how we do things all the time. And if you change that, if you lessen the experience, if you don't send the video, they fall out of love. And at times is a trust. You lose trust, as if it was like in a relationship where maybe the person you were dating promised they would call you on that evening and they don't call you. And you're like, what the hell was that? It's like, were you that busy you couldn't call me? It's a trust. Why wasn't it? And, maybe I may be exaggerating at that phone call, but if there's something that's always been that way for months and years and it changes, why did it change? If you have an employee, you hire somebody new. We're still on a honeymoon. Everything is wonderful. They're performing their best possibly they can. After time, that newness may wear off. And the responsibility is to maintain that level of, I give a shit, I care, I offer the same amount of care to what I do. And if we lessen that in a relationship or a business, it's noticeable. And it's a no-go. And it may be okay in your mind, but probably not in theirs. And they may be quiet about it. Saying, hey, they didn't trim the plants this time. And they put that in their back pocket. Next year, if they have another issue that we fell short on, hey, you guys didn't text me, didn't call me when you were coming. And then they call you and they say, hey, you guys didn't text me when you said you were coming. And also last year, you forgot to trim the plants. It's like, it's and it adds up. And if you let these things slide and you coast, as we say, we may not get that next opportunity. And for what we've paid to acquire that client, $100, $200, $500 is lost. And now we have to start all over again with a new relationship, a business or a relationship like dating relationship. And you wonder why it's Groundhog Day, because you don't have a standard operating procedure. How you do everything. How you do one thing is how you do everything.
Date, and continue. That's wow. This is going to be difficult, Tim.
Yeah, I know. Because here's the thing: you set such a high standard for your client. Because if you get this fire, right, you can bring all this fire to their house when you're working, and then you slack off. Now you've built yourself up to be that guy, and you say, "Well, maybe I can't keep it at that standard." It's like, yeah, you can, because it was important to you in the beginning, and for some reason it's not important to you now. You can't. You got to date your clients. You got to let them know that you feel important. You have to call them. You have to text them. You have to send them emails, spoke signals, carrier pigeons, wherever it is, to let them know you care. Let them know you're coming. Let them know what to expect. Otherwise, the next opportunity will not be available to you.
So what does that look like? If you're in this service industry, another company can take the client, just like a relationship. You start slacking, and all of a sudden someone shows that other individual a little bit of attention, and that's where it just goes to. In the service industry, most service companies don't do a great job, and it's so easy to acquire a customer from another company because they just don't do the things that they used to.
And the other company that may come in may make all these promises and all, but there's no way they're going to meet up to your standards, what you had in the beginning, but they'll settle for that because you already disappointed them. And you think, well, they'll have a bad experience. They'll come back when they know that. It's like, no, they won't. They won't. You lost it. And now you're doing them a disservice because they can't get their shit that you were doing just so well. It's important. It's very important. To me, anyways, not to betray that trusting. I want another at-bat. I want a referral. The lifetime value of a maintenance client. Any idea, Derek? If you were to put a number on that?
The lifetime value. All right, I'll go simple math for a basic package of $1,500 a year. Just a basic package, $1,500 a year. So what is a lifetime?
It could be 10 years plus upsells. I'd put them, I honestly, and I know the math may not work, I would think that the higher value customers are easily spending $30,000 in a lifetime with us.
Yeah. If it's 10 years, that's 15,000. So if it's 20, that's just $1,500. So that's 30, right? And yeah.
And I'm going to let it go because we're not going to send a video or the opportunity. Let's go back to relationships, because you decide you're not going to call that somebody or say those kind words to somebody like you've always done from the beginning, or not open the car door. It's like, no, it's still you. Be the person that you're intended to be, and that your future self expects you to be right now. Be the best you can be, because the opportunity for this, it shouldn't be lost. It shouldn't be lost.
So what we're doing is we're cross-referencing here. So we're training our team and teaching our team what it's like to date another individual. It's teaching our team what it is to be a gentleman. It's teaching our team to what it means to be a father and a husband and a boyfriend and a wife. And like when you look at all, we're rearing constantly. So if and I think I'm referencing this to my two boys, Hayes and Reed. My dad did not raise me in a way that taught me how to be in a relationship. It wasn't bad or anything, but he wasn't the best at it either. But my dad's a great guy. He just I like to refer to him just like he's neutral. He never really built me up other than baseball. But that was really about him. He really instills to this day, loves baseball. And that was him living vicariously through me, which is fun. Skateboard, not so much. He wasn't a big fan of that. But, understandably, like that wasn't his era, right? And then, but he never really did anything negative. He's always there for me. I can call him right now and he's always shows up, but there's not like this big, great dynamic. But I have that in my stepfather, and I have that in other fathered figures in my life. So I'm looking at, I have to raise my boys to what it is to be what I'm just going to refer to as a Southern gentleman, because we're from the South. And that's kind of how I was raised by the women in my family. And I have to show them and teach them and just how I speak with their mother and how I speak to their friends and other ladies around. I have to show them all these things. And that's the same thing with the team. We have to show them how to date our customers. And then we have to continue that standard Now we're falling into standards and SOPs. And this is fun for me. This is exciting for me to go, oh, this is really my purpose in life. And this should be the purpose for every service industry provider, is to raise up a team, a great family, a great culture, that when they're around customers, they're like, I love that family. I want to hang out with that family. That family is great. They're doing really positive things. And it's a singular family member in the field. And then it's also because they're taking care of something. But when they do other stuff, they meet the other family members. So we have to date our customers and continue that.
Yeah. Don't set it and forget it, guys. Don't coast through it. If you want to build $1 million business, maintenance business, so bigger, date your people. Don't lessen the effect that you've had on them. Any changes, anything you lessen on will be noticed. And it may not be immediate, but down the road, it's going to bite you. I'm Tim.
I'm Derek.
And we'll see y'all next time.